Hi, I'm Tom Ridenour, and I'm here to announce something that we think is pretty exciting here at Ridenour Clarinet Products. It's the unveiling and the offering of our first wood clarinet, the Lyrique G1. We're offering this clarinet because of the request of so many customers over the years who've really liked the acoustical designs of the clarinets that I did in the 1990s at LeBlanc. So we finally found a manufacturer that would make the clarinet right, and they do a super job. And I put what is really my favorite acoustical designs from the ones that I did at LeBlanc, of course, modified. And as you do things, you actually learn things and you improve. So it's actually what I think is really the best of the acoustical designs that I've ever been able to come up with. But before I talk about that, let's take a look at some of the more, we'll say, primitive aspects of the clarinet so you can see what its basic features are. The Lyrique G1 is a clarinet I'm extremely proud of. Besides outstanding acoustical features, the G1 is also made beautifully. The keys are made of the finest nickel silver. They're silver plated, and the key fitting and workmanship are of the highest order. The G1 comes standard with an adjustable thumb rest. You'll also notice that the G1 has adjustable set screws underneath the crow's foot. This outstanding feature enables you to adjust the coupling between the FC and EB keys without bending keys, without reseating pads, or having to visit a repair tech every time these keys may get out of adjustment. Last but not least, the G1 comes with inline trill keys. Inline means that the trill keys drop straight into the tone holes, allowing pads to seat much better. This is far superior to the offset trill keys commonly found in other clarinets, where the pads are constantly dropping into the tone holes at angles. When pads drop into the tone holes at angles, it increases wear on the mechanism and the pads as well. Another great thing about the side trill keys is that they're separate post-mounted. That is, we have 4 keys mounted on 4 separate posts. This is far superior to the 3 posts that mount the 4 trill keys on other brands of clarinets. Well, that's sort of the basic information about the mechanics of the clarinet and the key work and the various features that we have. But the real virtue of the G1 is hidden in the acoustical design. Exactly what are those? One of the largest virtues of this design is something that I found very difficult to get into wood clarinets, and that is roundness, fullness, and stability in pitch, color, and shape in the upper clarion register. Generally, wood clarinets tend to brighten up and thin out when you get in the upper clarion, when you get right above the staff and in the third register, and the notes can get very shrill and bright in color. The design of the G1 corrects a tremendous amount of that. So undertoning is minimized, if not completely eliminated, when you get in the upper clarion. And when you increase your dynamic, the sound gets fuller and bigger, but it doesn't get brighter, and the pitch and color are much more stable than you find in most clarinets. One of the other things that's characteristic of my clarinets is the evenness of transitions, the perfect flow of airflow, minimizing all the embouchure air pressure adjustments that you might need to make when you play from register to register as well as dynamic to dynamic. And this makes phrasing much, much easier. Plus, this G1 has a tremendously good scale. I hand produce each one of these. I hand finish each one of these to a very, very high standard, like I did many of the LeBlanc clarinets when I was at LeBlanc and we got them in. These are all hand-tuned and processed and adjusted so that the consistency is, I think, far above what you would call the normal production that you find in other clarinets. Anyway, this clarinet is tremendously fine clarinet. It has a very compact sound, extremely focused, and very, very even from bottom to top. It's a clarinet I think a lot of people will love playing, and the more you play it, the easier it will get, because the more you'll discover that you have to do less and less and less to get more and more and more out of the clarinet. I often describe my clarinets as differing from other clarinets, and like having an automatic shift in a car differs from having a manual shift. So when you have an automatic shift, you can sort of drive and enjoy the view. But when you have a manual shift, you're constantly having to think about making adjustments so the car can run at one level or another level. Sometimes I think about it comparatively as walking up steps as opposed to taking an escalator. In any case, you're going to be the judge of that if you decide to try one of our G1 clarinets. I'm really excited about offering this. It's the first wood clarinet since LeBlanc. And I think that those of you who try it will be tremendously impressed with its features and its usefulness as a musical phrasing machine.